Hello!
Hello.
I'm Mallory Rubin.
I am Jason Concepcion of the Binge Mode.
Binge Mode, this is Milton. He's down here. Not sure if you guys can see him. Taking a little snooze. We are here for a quick AMA about Binge Mode Harry Potter, which we have a start date for.
June 11th.
Term begins.
It's hot at that time, but it won't be the hottest throughout the year. So we've stayed true to that promise.
That's right. Also, June 11th is spring, technically.
Technically spring. Technically still spring. We got there right under the deadline of summer.
Technically, and
yes.
That's all that matters. So you guys have been asking us a lot of questions over the last weeks and months, and particularly yesterday after we announced that we would be starting on June 11th, we wanted to attempt to give you some clarity. There's some stuff that we still can't be too hyper-specific about,
right.
But we're going to try our best. So here's our first question today. It's from Frankie Doodle. At Frankie Doodle. Frankie Doodle asks, could you provide a quick guideline? Will each episode cover a book, a chapter? Trying to plan accordingly. Okay, we got a lot of questions of that nature.
Aha.
In essence, what is the format of the podcast?
The format of the podcast, a good way to imagine it is, this is a comment we got on our Facebook group, and the person who posted it escapes me now, but the basic idea is imagine if Harry Potter was a show. How each episode would be broken up is essentially how we're going to break up each podcast episode. So we're going to do it by arcs. We don't want to talk about what the arcs are at this time, but we're pretty secure in saying episode 1 is going to cover from the beginning up to Diagon Alley. And then, so similar breaks like that, where there's a natural thematic story arc break in the story, that's where we will start and begin.
Right. So a lot of people have asked, will we be going chapter by chapter, right. Or will we be doing
200 and something episodes?
One episode per book. The answer, in essence, is somewhere in between. We will be doing multiple podcasts per book.
Yes.
We do not want to say how many podcasts per book yet, but we will be doing multiple podcasts per book. We will be doing a podcast per movie.
Right.
And again, we will be doing dedicated episodes on other aspects of the Harry Potter
video
universe
games,
as well.
fanfic, the Wizarding World, etc. Merch.
Buy your Binge Mode Harry Potter merch now. And we will be running loosely from June 11th, making our way on the Hogwarts Express that is Binge Mode, to Fantastic Beasts 2.
Right.
This is kind of the loose area of time in which we intend to operate. Don't hold us to that. Don't you dare. Don't be Hermione pointing at your time schedules, asking us if we've hit our review
we will do
for our
best.
charms exam. We'll see. Sometimes, like Ron and Harry, we like to study on our own time frame. But that's, broadly speaking, the format of the pod. Next question.
Daniel Arredondo. I've only read the Half-Blood Prince and the Deathly Hallows books. Didn't read the first 5 books. What a way to do it.
Man, that's a choice.
Only saw the movies. Should I read all the books before the podcast? I barely remember the movies, but I love the books. If you can fit that into your schedule, I think that you would get more out of the podcast if you do that. We will be taking into account the entirety of the series right from the beginning, much like we approached Game of Thrones. Right. When we did episode 1 of Binge Mode Game of Thrones, we weren't like, wow, this Ned guy seems great. I think he might be king, maybe. Maybe he'll go all the way. No, we used what we knew was going to happen down the line to add context and shading and talk about the foreshadowing and all the things, the structure of the story. We're going to be doing the same thing with the podcast, the Harry Potter podcast. So the more versed you are with the material, the more you'll get out of it.
Yeah, it is very meaningful to us that a lot of people have reached out to say, I'm finally going to read this for the first time, or I'm finally going to watch these movies for the first time because I want to hear you guys talk about it. That is incredible. We love that. We really want you to join us on this experience. However, if you do not want to be spoiled about the end game, you should definitely finish your read or your watch, or ideally both, before you start listening to the podcast, because we will be taking the full series into account from the beginning. However, if you have read the books before, and you're using Binge Mode Harry Potter as a delightful opportunity to reread.
Study guide.
Feel free to do that along with us. Feel free to do it before if you'd like, but we will be pacing the release of the episodes, pacing the overall podcast in such a way that allows people to read all of the books and watch all of the movies along with us as we go.
And again, if you haven't finished the books and you plan to or want to, you should do that before the podcast starts.
Yes.
If you can.
Yes. We will issue a spoiler warning at the top of every episode, but
we will be talking about all types of stuff.
Okay, next question from Joe Barnes? Berenz?
Sure.
Like Ferenz.
Yeah.
Also, will you be incorporating Pottermore, JKR Twitter, a rich text, Fantastic Beasts, and this is great, the play that shall not be named?
Isn't it the biggest budget adaptation ever? Is that true?
I believe we saw a link like that and then asked Zach Cram to give us the equivalency in galleons, which he did, because he's Zach Cram. Yeah. The play that shall not be named, of course, refers to Cursed Child. Joe continues, what's canon, or can we establish a Star Wars-style canon hierarchy? The answer to this question is simple. Yes. Yeah, we will be doing all of it. We will 100% be doing both Fantastic Beasts movies, Fantastic Beasts the text.
Yes.
We will definitely be doing Cursed Child. Ideally, we'll get to see Cursed Child in person.
That'd be great.
That would be great, but certainly we will be doing the text-based version of it. We're doing it all, guys. Harry Potter is
the entire universe. We will explore everything in the universe that is related to this. Everything, certainly all the canonical pieces of text and entertainment media.
From the longest book to the grossest flavored Bertie Bott every flavor bean. We will be doing it all. Next question.
Jordan Shelton. So anybody know if they will be doing episodes on other current properties during this? Binge Mode Weekly. What will happen there? We will go to a more staggered schedule with Binge Mode Weekly while Potter is running.
Yes.
Right.
We will.
Now we don't want
We're
to.
getting a lot of motions.
We don't want to. Certainly, Binge Mode Weekly will still run, but it will run less.
To be determined.
To be TBD on exactly how much less, but less while Binge Mode Harry Potter is going.
We would love a world in which every single person loved Harry Potter and wanted to share this journey with us. We understand that some people don't like Harry Potter or want to hear about other things. We also like other things and would like to talk about them. To be determined frequency, but we will do our best. Next, this is from
Monique.
Duppy. Okay.
Duppy.
We have been getting this question a lot in various forms. Curious about adult content.
Aren't we all?
given that the material's for kids,
Certainly
is the
begins that way.
podcast going to be? So we've gotten a lot of questions about whether Binge Mode Harry Potter will be kid-friendly. Obviously, Binge Mode Weekly and Binge Mode Game of Thrones, not super kid-friendly.
Binge Mode Game of Thrones kid-friendly version, I would love to actually listen to that podcast.
It would be 14 total minutes.
Less. I think it would be like 5 minutes. I mean,
Here's where we are with this. We're going to try. It is truly very meaningful to us that people want to listen to this with their kids.
Numerous people have said, I'm introducing the story to my kids and reading my kids' story, or reading or playing the audiobooks for them. Would love to share the podcast with them as well. We'll try.
We will try. However, we are who we are.
I think, and certainly we're going to explore ways to issue warnings that would be most conducive to allowing people to share this with their families in the most efficient way possible. We'll try.
Yes.
That's what we can say right now.
Yes. There will certainly be some blue humor, as there always is on Binge Mode, but we will do our best to make sure that you guys know when that's coming if you're choosing to listen with your...
Like Ginny Weasley.
Youngins.
Blue, as in the past tense. We'll move on. Claire Sharp asks, will the usual Game of Thrones themed very own King's Road, Visit the Sept, Bathe in the Light of 7 segments have an HP theme? Yes.
Yes, they will. We'll say a episode structure that you guys will be familiar with.
Synopsis, theme, winner of the episode, or this chunk of arc, and then 7 things that we liked.
Right. Some sort of history.
Yeah, random things. And yes, so the format you're familiar with, but certainly with more Harry Potter themed names.
Yeah. Sorry, Pointy End. R.I.P. Next question.
You'll be back in a year and a half to 2 years.
Hopefully.
Yeah.
No. You will be back.
Right.
We will be doing Game of Thrones.
Yeah.
That was more of a, will George ever finish the books kind of aside. Daniel Mitchell asks first. Thank you so much for this.
You're welcome.
Daniel, thank you. I can't wait, and it's going to be amazing. Second, my question, can there be a fantasy character draft? Draft a hero, villain, intellectual, best friend, creature, or something like that. Not HP specific necessarily, but I would love it. We've also gotten a version of this question about specifically an HP fantasy draft. As you know, in fantasy draft settings, I'm calm, I'm respectful of my colleagues, I'm a pleasure to be around. I don't see why we wouldn't try it.
We should try it. It certainly would be cool, either more HP specific and fantasy at large. I think we're going to certainly look at entertaining and interesting and creative executions of ways to explore this material that people love and that we love so much.
And creative ways to hopefully interact with you guys. Yeah, we'll certainly be doing a lot of mailbag episodes throughout the run of Binge Mode Harry Potter. We will look for as many fun and inventive and hopefully really weird and quirky and binge mode-y ways to interact with you guys and explore this world as we possibly can. Next question. Jay asks, who will cry longer when discussing major character deaths?
That's Mallory. It will be Mallory. That's not even close.
I'm going to be a wreck. I don't know how I'm going to get through most of this podcast.
It will be an upbeat podcast, I swear to God.
We're going to have a lot of fun, and also I will cry a lot, for sure. All right, next. Well, this is a good one. Mark Dalmatio.
Ooh.
When Jason does voices, will he be doing voices from the movies or original interpretations?
Movies.
And I'm going to add a follow-up question to that. When you're doing movie voices, will you stick with a certain actor? Like, for example, we have more than one Dumbledore.
That's true. I think I'm going to go movies because I think that's what more people are familiar with. And it's also what I'm more familiar with. Also, we have our good friend Walder Frey / Filch in there.
Sweet Filch.
There's just a lot more. It's just a lot more fun to do that, I think.
Did you put your name into the goblet of fire? All right, next question. Obi-Wan Jacoby.
Ho.
Random HP binge mode question. Will you reveal what your boggart would turn into?
You first.
Well, I'm not going to say what my boggart is now, because that is not the question. It is, will we? And the answer is yes. I think we can safely say that we will be revealing an alarming amount of personal information on this podcast.
Sure.
What's our boggart? What would our Patronus be? What would we see in the Mirror of Erised? This is going to be a time for sharing and a time for tears and also a time for laughter and joy.
That's right.
And despair.
We hope you'll be there with us for all number of episodes that the podcast series will be.
We will definitely say what our boggarts are, for sure. And that's it.
That's it. Check the Ringer store for Binge Mode and Ringer-centric merch.
Ringer.com/shop.
If you so desire to do so, to spend some galleons on some swag.
Mere sickles and nuts.
Couple sickles.
These are a bargain.
Yeah.
Get your Binge Mode Harry Potter the Pod That Lived merch.
Just like
you don't even have to go to Gringotts. You don't even have to open your vault.
For the low price of not buying butterbeers on Friday, you can get a Binge Mode Harry Potter shirt. And thank you, everyone who's been so supportive and interested in the podcast and interested in us continuing this wonderful journey through stories that we enjoy.
Thank you, guys. Please follow us on Twitter at binge_mode, a.k.a. the underscore. Please join our Facebook group just for the true heads, the binge heads. We cannot wait to talk about this story with you, truly. We solemnly swear that we are up to no good.